Hello everyone, Republic Jim here. I'm back out in the barn today, still not doing a workout. I've just been way too busy and too tired out lately to be consistent with my workouts, unfortunately. And then the last couple of days I've actually been home from work because I haven't been feeling well, just recovering and keeping my distance from coworkers so I don't get anybody else sick. But I've been going nuts laying around the house, and so I had to get out here and putter around, do something. I've had this project in mind for a while, and of course I just never have enough projects to do, so I wanted to at least just gather the different components of this project and kind of get a start on it. The idea is that sometimes when I go out camping, I want to carry along more gear than what I can just carry in my pack. And I don't always want to just drive my Jeep and load it up with gear. I like being able to just go out and haul stuff along under my own power and go places that I can't necessarily drive to. And of course, in the winter, that's pretty straightforward because I have this big old utility sled that I've talked about in other videos, and it works great for that. I can load it up and haul it around in the snow, but it's still a little ways out before we get to the point where we have enough snow to use that. And there's times during the summer that I would like to get out and haul stuff around too. And of course I'm not going to get a side-by-side or ATV or something. I'm looking for more primitive solutions, but as I said, I don't always want to just carry stuff in my pack and not be able to haul along extra gear if I feel like experimenting or doing more of a luxury camp out. So what I wanted to do is just kind of a basic hand cart setup. And the idea of a hand cart has been around for many years. It was used back in the Middle Ages and for I don't know how many hundreds of years, but it's just a simple concept of a cart with a couple of wheels and pulled by a person. It was frequently used by those who did not have livestock to pull a cart or a larger wagon around, or for those that just wanted a small cart and it was simple and easy to use. And it was even used by settlers in the West and in the U.S. when they were heading across the plains and over the Rockies and stuff. Not everybody used the big old covered wagons. People did haul stuff just with a hand cart. So with all that said, I thought I'd go back to the real primitive concept of just the two-wheeled hand cart, or like modern day equivalent might be like a rickshaw. Some people are familiar with that. Of course, I'm not going to be hauling people around in it, just gear. But so my concept was, rather than building everything from scratch, just to, as much as possible, use repurposed gear and hardware and such and keep the expense to a minimum. Obviously, I could buy some sort of purpose-built cart, but those ones tend to be aimed towards hunters or those who are doing like specialized camping type expeditions, and they're high-tech and really expensive. And so I'm gonna just do the redneck engineering, keep it minimal and inexpensive. So as a basis of it, I figured I'd go with my big old utility sled. So what I need to do is rig up an axle with wheels on it and attach it to that. And I have a couple of these lawnmower wheels from a lawnmower that broke down and hasn't been used in many years. Pulled those off of it. I picked up The only stuff I have purchased for this project is just some basic hardware. Picked up some long lag bolts and some washers, and those will be my axles, of course, with the washers on either side to help make it turn more smoothly. But I will sink that into a 4x4, which this was one that I had just laying around, still bolted to this block, or screwed to it. Anyway, I'm going to remove the block, of course, and trim off this broken end, and it'll be about the right width that I can sink those lag bolts in on either end, mount my wheels. Then I just have to use some other scrap lumber. I got another chunk of 4x4 and 2x4 left over from a building project, and with those I'll rig up a little bit more of a cradle assembly on my axle 4x4 and set the sled in that cradle, and then I will put a couple of these eye bolts on the sides and use a ratchet strap across from side to side over the sled, cinch it down to secure that in place. And I think that'll work fairly well. And then for now, I'm going to just go full primitive and just go out on the property and find some branches that are long enough and about the right diameter that I can just trim them up a bit and run them down the sides, and I'll sink a couple of screws through the holes that I have on these side rails. Just drive those into the branches to secure them. And then when I have those handles up front, I'll probably put some sort of cross deal. I'm thinking possibly like a waist belt from a pack, or a shoulder harness from a computer bag, or something of the sort. I have a few things laying around. I'll run that across and secure it with some prussics to where it's easily removable if I want, and that'll give me something to go across, like, at kind of at waist level, hip level, whatever, to lean into, and as I'm holding on to the handles, get a little more leverage on that. Obviously, if I had higher wheels on it, it would go over rough terrain a little easier, but I think, at least for starters, those ones should work fine. I'm sure over time the system will evolve and I'll make some improvements. Maybe eventually I'll get more of a purpose-built handle setup. I don't know if I'll go with PVC or just more like machine type, finished wood handles or what, but I'll see how it works out and adapt things over time. But for now, I just want to get a functional setup and have some wheels and handles on that sled and be able to use it to pull around in the woods. So for now, just now that I've got the basic stuff gathered up, I'm not going to really proceed any further today because I need to go and rest some more and not be out in the miserable weather. But I will give an update once I have the project underway, or possibly wait until after it's completed and show the finished result, and hopefully take it out on an overnight camping trip fairly soon. But that's all I have with it for now. Got the starting of a fun project, and hopefully it'll turn out well. This has been Republic Jim. I'll talk to you later.